Saginaw City Council to order. Please rise for the pledges. I pledge allegiance. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you. Please be seated. Do we have a pastor? Oh, hey, Reverend Joe. My friend Joe Rengel.
Let us bow our heads. Dear Lord, we just thank you for this opportunity to be here. We ask, Father, that you would speak, Father God, to each one of us, Father God, for we're here for one reason, that is to make our city better, along with making each one of us the person you've called us to be. We thank you for it. We give you honor, we give you glory, and we ask all this in the precious name of Jesus. And everyone said, amen.
Good to see you, buddy. Item number 1D is audience participation. If there's an item on this agenda you wish to speak on, please see the city secretary and fill out a form. You may speak on any item that is on the posted agenda. Item 2 is the consent agenda. Let me get my agenda out here, sorry. A is action regarding minutes of January 16th. B is action regarding building code compliance department vehicle purchase. C is action regarding Tarrant County ESD number 1 services contract renewal. Questions, comments on the consent agenda? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Mayor, I make a motion, we pass the consent agenda as presented.
Second. Any second? Please cast your votes. Motion passes. Let the record reflect we do have a quorum. We have 6 votes. Thank you all for coming out this fine evening. Moving forward, item 3. 3A is a new one. Recognitions and presentation. City Manager Gabe Ray.
Mayor and Council, I'll defer to Lee to explain this.
Yeah, thank you. Mayor, Council, this is just a standing item that we'll have on the agenda from now on every meeting. And it's something that arose out of the Employee Survey Committee to utilize for recognizing employees for their good work that they do every day, any accolades or accomplishments, promotions, and to introduce some new hires to you. So we're just kind of introducing this to you tonight as a standing item, and probably next meeting we'll start having some actual items under the agenda item for you to see. Thank you.
I have a couple things I want to bring up. One is a sad, we all know that Sheldon the fire dog passed just recently. We were very sad that he was probably our favorite employee. He was the most popular employee, certainly of the fire department, probably the whole city.
Yes.
So we mourn his passing, and we'll reach out to Mr. Tadlock as well. I know their family is heartbroken. So, on a good note, this Saturday is the second meeting of the Mayor's Youth Council. We're going to do police department, fire department, I believe. So, council, if you're around, come on and join us. I think what do we got for lunch? I asked Gabe because I was interested in the food. We don't know yet? All right.
To be determined, but I think it's at the fire department, so they'll,
Maybe Doug cooking.
it'll be good.
Correct. There will be a plan.
Oh, nice. Outstanding. All right.
What time does it start?
9 a.m. Police department, 9 a.m. All right. I don't have any other recognitions, updates, unless somebody else does. All right, thank y'all. So keep thanking council. If you've got a recognition or update or anything on that, bring it forth, and we're happy to discuss it. All right, going to 3B. A presentation update by Northeast Chamber of Commerce. Jack, welcome.
Good evening, Mayor. I wanted to just preface before Jack takes the stage is, if you'll remember, I believe it was in the 2022-23 work plan, the council established the plan for the city to get back involved in the chamber or start a chamber, become a member of the chamber to help out our business community. And through a long process, we recommended the best decision, which was to join the Northeast Tarrant Chamber of Commerce, which we did. And we've been a partner city along with the other four cities in the chamber for the past, right at, gosh, a year almost to the date. So tonight I wanted to bring our chamber here to talk to you a little bit about what they do, what they've done in Saginaw, and what they plan to do. Tonight, here is Jack Bradshaw, our president, CEO, as well as Marcia Etai with the chamber.
All right. Well, thank you, Keith, and so yeah, and, Marcia Etai is a lifetime member of our chamber and was involved with how many different chambers, Marcia?
Before I retired, I was about 15 or 16 chambers. I retired from college and became a mayor's office.
So we're very lucky to have her as a lifetime member and board member. Is there any, so everybody's got a packet, I've got a few more, are there any other business owners in here who'd like a little chamber packet? Okay.
Would you speak into the microphone so our
Speak into the
online viewers could
Okay.
listen?
Is that good? All right, we have, as the Northeast Tarrant Chamber, we came into being in 1957 with the city of Haltom City, and then Richland Hills. We were the Haltom Richland Chamber. So we've been going since 1957. We added the city of North Richland Hills in the 70s, and then the city of Watauga, and then Saginaw last year. And so it's a very exciting time. We're more of a regional chamber. We have a philosophy that a rising tide floats all boats. And what we believe is that when you look at 820, there's so much amazing development going on along there. And now Keith has really educated us all on everything going on in Saginaw as well. And it's just, we're in one of the best areas of the country. I mean, we're in the greatest country, the greatest state, and then what I consider to be one of the most exciting areas of the country, North Tarrant County. And now we found out so much more about what's going on with Saginaw. So when he first approached about becoming part of the chamber, we got very excited and every time I would drive out to the west, out in this area, I would just get very excited because there's so much happening, and then even so much more potential. So it's a very exciting time. I wanted to show this video just so you could see what some of our business leaders say about the chamber.
The reason I joined the Northeast Tarrant Chamber was because I saw the wide range of businesses, small businesses in particular, that were part of the chamber, that were helping to grow the community. And I love the relationships that people were building with one another.
This chamber's become like a family.
It's our members and our small businesses. It's our job to help them thrive. And we're gonna give them all the tools needed for them to be able to succeed and be prosperous in their business.
The main reason that we decided to join the Northeast Tarrant Chamber was because it covered so many cities. So the Northeast Chamber allowed us to represent those communities through multiple cities by just being part of one chamber.
The city of North Richland Hills was very, very good to deal with when we moved in, so I wanted to give back.
I chose to be a part of this chamber because of the community that it's in. It's very close-knit, very active, and the members are energetic and always willing to participate in their community.
I chose this chamber mainly in the beginning because of location, and I ended up joining other chambers and then scaled back to just this chamber. It felt the most like a family.
The Northeast Tarrant Chamber does a great job of bringing people together from all groups in the region, both public, private, and allows some really great collaboration.
We chose to be a part of this chamber because we want to get involved in our local community, and that includes helping our other local businesses grow.
I love this organization. From the time I stepped into the first chamber meeting, I was warmly welcomed, I felt included, I felt the passion, the dedication, the commitment to community. There was an opportunity to connect what we were doing as an organization to the values of the business community to support economic development.
We love this chamber, we love everything it does for the community, and it truly has been a joy to be a part of it. We make a difference, we can help your business grow, and come join us.
So that's kind of our tagline, ensuring prosperity. And I don't know how much you know about chambers of commerce, but the first chamber of commerce supposedly was in 1599 in Marseille, France, and then eventually spread to the United States, with the first chamber actually being in New York. But it has a kind of a rich history, right? The Atlantic City, New Jersey Chamber came up with the Miss America pageant, so that came through a Chamber of Commerce. And then the St. Louis Chamber funded the trip of Charles Lindbergh, the Spirit of St. Louis. So that was pretty cool. And then the Chicago Association of Business helped bring down gangster Al Capone with the idea of looking at his taxes and going that route, going the legal route to bring him down. And then Woodstock was, I think it was Elliot Tiber who was at it was like the White Lake Chamber or something like that. He filed the permit for the Woodstock Festival. And then us, just last year, we have a giant 4th of July, we call it the Family 4th event, and we have incorporated a company that has drones with the fireworks, and so we set the Guinness World Record for the largest drone sentence. And the Guinness people were on hand, and they gave us the certificate and everything else. So this is our own little part of fame right there. But we've been around 67 years, and I guess I'm supposed to speak over here. When we first started talking to Keith and the city of Saginaw about you guys being part of it, of course you had your own chamber, years ago, as there was a Northwest Tarrant Chamber, there was kind of a Tri-Cities Chamber, and it's become tougher for smaller chambers to operate. And we have a coalition of chambers, and the Colleyville Chamber is part of that, and the Keller Chamber, and we've watched them struggle through a number of, just from finances to support and everything else. And so we like the idea of banding together several communities to just really help each other grow. And that, just like I said, that rising tide floats all boats makes a difference. And so the chamber is a little bit like an iceberg in a way. There's so many things that the chamber's doing all the time. We have our team of people, we have our board of directors, we have our diplomats. So when you come out to some of the ribbon cuttings, you see the diplomats are there, and then we have our members as well. And so we shine a spotlight on our nonprofits. We do an event called Hometown Heroes, and also our nonprofit luncheon that coincides with North Texas Giving Day. So we can really shine a spotlight on their missions and help them grow and get word out about what they do. We work with now the Eagle Mountain Saginaw ISD, Birdville ISD, and Keller ISD, and we give away 14 $1,000 scholarships each year. We send people into the schools to talk to the kids about challenging themselves with their curriculum. And so there's a lot of things that we do that really make a difference in the community. In your packet, there is actually on the second to the last page, is a schedule of networking and professional development events that we do. And what it's designed to do is help people. We really believe that success in business comes through involvement in the community, relationships, and really building your reputation. And that is more of an organic thing. When you go to the internet and search something, you can always see the top 3 are sponsored, right? Somebody bought their way to being in those sponsored. Everybody goes right by those just to see who are the organic 10 people on page 1 and maybe the organic 10 people on page 2. And that's what you're doing when you as a business involve yourself in the community. So we like to see ourselves as really the window into the community. So we've got over 250 events that we do annually, from having a Toastmasters public speaking group on Mondays, to our network success group, we have a Synergy Lake Worth, we have a Synergy Saginaw that now we're doing on the 1st and 3rd Fridays of each month. And it's just a chance for people to get together, get to know each other, and it's just amazing what happens when you put everybody in the same room. So lots of events to tap into there. Our mission is creating prosperity by fostering meaningful relationships, a culture of community service, and the promotion of economic development while advocating for the organizations we serve. And we try to live up to that every day. Our goals are to represent the interest of business and foster an excellent business climate, make our communities better, and help member companies be more successful. You guys do a lot. You've got Keith, you've got your whole team here. You do a lot to attract the businesses into Saginaw. Then what we want to happen is we want for them to thrive, and we want for them to be able to achieve their dreams. Nobody works harder than the small business person who puts their time and effort into opening, a brick and mortar place, and they just put a lot on the line when they do it. So when we come out, we do the best ribbon cutting. We have a great time. We take pictures. We post it on social media, and we just love on them because it's just to take that risk and put it all out there. We just have immense respect for that. So we want to see them succeed, and that's a big deal. And success is not a guaranteed thing, right? You open up your business. You think you're just going to open it up and the success is going to come like a line like that, but it's really this kind of, jagged line of ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs. But often it's that struggle that's embraced in the first couple years with the business that people will remember fondly. Remember when we launched our business out of our house and then we moved into that new location? And so we just love to see businesses progress and succeed. So our vision, and I recommend that every business do a mission and a vision. Your vision is like what you want to be if you achieved everything you wanted to be. And so our vision is to be the chamber of choice and the recognized catalyst of organizational success by serving and connecting people, organizations, and communities. So here's so when you look at it, and our name officially is the Northeast Tarrant Chamber, but we started an app, and it's called the North Tarrant Marketplace. And it's available on Google Play or the App Store, and it's free for you to download and do a personal profile on there. You have to be a member to do a business profile and put your events on there, and also join our open community groups and things like that. But when you look at this, what's really significant about it, and I don't even know that I really realized it till Keith and I really started talking seriously about having Saginaw join our group. If you look at our other partner cities, North Richland Hills, Haltom City, and Watauga, and then you look at Saginaw, it's really joined so nicely by 820. And I now refer to 820 as the corridor of prosperity because there's so many good things going on. There's townhomes, there's a bunch of great new homes going in. You guys have some great developments that are happening. Don't know if you know, right there at Beach and 820, that's where that new H-Mart, we just broke ground on it the other day. And that's what we talk about with the rising tide floating all boats. It's interesting because I can have a ribbon cutting in North Richland Hills, and our chamber is right at 377 and 820. So there's a little lake there, and our chamber is right on that lake. And it takes me, if I've got a ribbon cutting in North Richland Hills, it takes me about 20 minutes to get there. But it takes me 7 minutes to get from the chamber to this building right here. I mean, barring traffic. So we're really connected, but I think really connected through the corridor of prosperity that I call 820. And so it was really an even better fit than I thought when we first started talking. And so we are, if you look at Tarrant County, Northeast Tarrant County, there's Colleyville, there's Grapevine, there's South Lake, and so we started as the Haltom Richland Chamber, then became the Northeast Tarrant Chamber because we were northeast of Fort Worth back in, I'm not even sure when they changed that name originally. So we are actually talking with our board right now about just becoming the North Tarrant Chamber so we can really represent that area right there. So we're having some good conversations about that right now. And I think for business owners that are here west of 35, I think they'll be even comfortable with the name the North Tarrant Chamber. Plus Manny Ramirez really wants us to do it too. So what have we done in the 67 years in North Tarrant County? Well, working collaboratively with the partner cities of Haltom City, North Richland Hills, Saginaw, and Watauga. And we have a lot of members in the North Fort Worth area as well because they don't really feel as connected. Fort Worth Chamber is a very downtown-centric chamber, and there are a lot of smaller businesses and restaurants and everything, so they like our chamber. We work with area business leaders, as you saw from that video, local, county, state, and U.S. elected officials, area education, Birdville, Keller, Eagle Mountain, Saginaw, ISDs, TCC, private schools, and then we have relationships with other chambers of commerce. I'm very good friends. He actually served on our board, the new president of the Fort Worth Chamber. We work with the Arlington Chamber. We work with all the chambers in this area. But we really think that this North Tarrant County area is one of the most dynamic and fastest growing areas of the country. So we're very excited to be here. 2 weeks ago, we did a big celebration of community event. We called it our big member event. We do these from time to time just to grow. So we have got 1,080 business members with over 40,000 employees. And so what we did in that time, we bring members of the community together, we sit them in a room, talk about the chamber, then we ask them to invite their friends to join the chamber. And so we got 165 new members in 3 days, and that just propels us to that much more collaboration, more relationships, more success. So we were very excited to do it. It about kills us because you're trying to enter all those people in and get them invited to things. And we did it right before we did our economic development luncheon, and Saginaw was represented. Keith made the presentation on all the great things happening there, and all the cities kind of presented everything that was happening. And so a lot of the new members were able to attend that luncheon. So there it is, 160 new members in 3 days. We had 4 volunteer shifts. And that's exciting because what does it do? It helps members network and make even more connections. So, like I said, 1,080 chamber members, more than 40,000 employees, new business contacts and referrals, and more than 250 annual connection opportunities. And I have seen some really amazing stories in my 11 years of being a part of the chamber. Just nothing gets us more excited than just seeing businesses grow and succeed. And then we have many chamber resources as well. And that's one of the better things about being more of a regional chamber is you can bring some of these great resources. So we talked about over 250 annual networking events. We coordinate business and educational opportunities, developing a really nice relationship with Dr. Chadwick over at Eagle Mountain Saginaw ISD. We did one scholarship over there, and he came and spoke at our December luncheon, which is all about education. We connect businesses through our chamber programs, our luncheons, our workshops, ribbon-cutting events, facilitate many community programs, provide access to government and business leaders. If you are able to come to some of our luncheons, you're going to see the other mayors there from the other cities. You're going to see Commissioner Ramirez, Commissioner Fickus, and other leaders from time to time. So, and it's all really in that effort to help our members, help your businesses create strong, long-lasting, and beneficial relationships. So when you invest in the chamber, we talk investment, right? Somebody joins the chamber, the minimum rate is $325 for the year, or $25 a month if you're doing credit card. And that's just kind of the piece of the pie of where does that go to? And that kind of plays back to the iceberg. When you look at it, you're like, oh, the chamber does ribbon cutting, so the chamber does this, so the chamber does this. But there's a whole lot more that we do, with marshaling all of our resources and all the people that are a part of it, including our members, to really be a force out in the community for collaboration and success. And then we want to introduce your business. So this is a business we just did a ribbon cutting last Saturday. This is the CavTac Airsoft Arena that just opened up in Haltom City. It used to be a Winn-Dixie years ago. Now it's a war ground for young men with airsoft rifles. And then we like I said, we love to celebrate new businesses opening. So then as a new business, as we got several new members in Saginaw through the big member event, they get the opportunity to have a free exhibit table at one of our luncheons where they can pass out information about their business and really introduce their business to all our members. And we have a lot of really great members in Saginaw already, and we're looking to build that over the next couple years. So it's an opportunity. This was one of our new member orientations. We bring everybody together. The new members love meeting each other. We give them a business card holder. Everybody puts their business cards in there, and they're off to the races. They're starting to create relationships and tap into the resources that we have at the chamber. There's the elected officials. That's the Tarrant County Days down in Austin, and we get all the elected officials together. We celebrate what's happening. We just had Governor Abbott was just in Northwich and Hills the other day, and we spent some time with him, and he was supporting Stephanie Click's reelection campaign. And then today we had State Senator Kelly Hancock and one of our state representatives, Giovanni Capriglione, at our leadership forum. So we love to, and our elected officials love staying in touch with the small business owner and finding out what you think. I mean, they see the Coca-Cola, they see the superintendents, they see the cities all the time, but they love to be in touch with you guys as small business owners, and so we want to help facilitate that. And there's we do a leadership class And any of our member businesses are able to go to it. We have about 25 to 30 that go through it, and it's a 9-month-long program where you learn all about what's happening behind the scenes in Tarrant County. And it's really a great program. I think, Marcia, you were a part of the best class ever, weren't you? Absolutely. We have kind of a running joke on who's the best class ever. So it's a lot of fun, and there's our board of directors from last year. So it's just everybody wants to connect with everybody. So it's just, we have really fostered an environment of inclusiveness and relationships where people feel great together. We're by design. We want everybody to feel welcome when they come into our chamber, and we feel like we've done a pretty good job with that. Some of our corporate sponsors there, those are our 5-star sponsors on top, and then 4-star and 3-star. We also have 2 and 1-star, so there's, having corporate sponsorships is really available to everybody who's a part of the chamber. If there's an event that you want to be involved in, you want to raise your profile somehow, some way by being a sponsor of an event, we'll find a way to get you plugged in even further. We have a group of diplomats, and these are really the face of the chamber. And when we had the ribbon cutting not that long ago for 7 Brew, they're the ones that come out and make sure the event is a success and celebrate those new members, and then try, share the Facebook post and share information about the business so that they're kick-started off to a good start. And then we have plenty of marketing opportunities. We do a business expo, which is really a great event that happens in October each year. We have luncheon exhibit tables that we talked about, but even at the luncheon, boy, those are just great events where people, I think we had 175 at our January luncheon for the economic development update. And I love it. Afterwards, people are talking and they're meeting, they're exchanging cards. Oh, I want to know this person. You can do a chamber e-blast to the membership. We have enhanced landing pages on our website, promo materials in our chamber office, and ribbon cutting goodie bags. And so we've got some great marketing opportunities to help businesses continue to raise their profile. We also have sponsorship and volunteer opportunities. So if you are looking to get more involved and you want to volunteer, we've got our luncheons, our signature events, our business workshops, Leadership Northeast, networking and special events, and just a myriad of opportunities. All you have to do is come up to us and say, hey, I'd like to get more involved or be more involved, and we would love that. And so this is actually a true statement, but I don't know who came up with this, but research has shown that volunteering has mental and physical health benefits for the volunteer. So you never know who you're going to meet when you volunteer. And so we've got our Hometown Heroes, we've got our golf tournament, we've got our Family Fourth, our Woods Banquet, opportunities to help, and that's just another resource for creating more relationships. And our weekly and monthly events, like I said, more than 250 weekly and monthly events, great presenters, networking, professional development, and relationship building. I just think our group is second to none in terms of the quality of people and their welcoming nature. So, and then our signature events. Our annual awards banquet is on March 7th, Denim and Diamonds auction and dining showcase, where all our restaurants and caterers get to go around and sample their food. Hometown Heroes, where we shine a spotlight on the efforts of people who give up their time and resources to our nonprofits, as well as our first responders who really make our communities better, who do it really without any recognition. So we take a really nice lunch and we shine a spotlight on what they do and recognize them as hometown heroes. Family Fourth talked about that, golf tournament, Viva Las Vegas, and then our business expo. So then anybody who's a member, they get a page on our website that's almost like a mini website, has search engine advantages. And so if you Google people who are chamber members, their chamber page comes up along with. It's just nice when if somebody Googles you, that you see their website, you see their chamber page, you see their Facebook page, you see their LinkedIn, and that it just makes your business look good. And we're going to help you. We're going to help you with that. And that's our chamber website, www.anytarrant.org. We got free website tools. You can post events in our online calendar, offers and coupons, and our hot deals, post in our North Tarrant Marketplace channels, and connect online with other members. So our Facebook and Facebook event pages, 3,500 connections there as well. And then the North Tarrant Marketplace is really our newest investment. We invested in this 2 years ago. And like I said, the app is available at the App Store and Google Play, and it really puts the chamber at your fingertips. And it's almost like, if you've heard of Angie, we wanted to do like an Angie for North Tarrant, for the North Tarrant corridor. And when we have. So if you're looking to just find a business in any category, you just go to the Find a Business, put in any keyword, and those businesses are going to come up. And they're instantly, you can click on them. You can then click on their phone number or contact them. You can go and do a direct connection on the site. It's got a Facebook wall without having to deal with any Facebook people. We don't have any Silicon Valley interference there. It's just a very nice wall where we post pictures and people can talk about what's going on. Any business can put an event in there. We've got open community groups. So every one of our Synergy Saginaw has an open community group that you can join. And that way, anytime anything's posted, you get a notification via email that there's a new post in Synergy Saginaw. So we have really invested in this, and we've really been building it up, and that's a great benefit for any of the chamber members. When we talk about how we want to make sure that business that has invested all that stuff and all that time and effort into coming into Saginaw, we want them to be successful. So that's why we want to put these tools at their fingertips, and then also teach them how to use them. So we did a lot. When social media was first around, we taught people Instagram, we taught them Facebook, we taught all of that, LinkedIn, why is it important to be on LinkedIn and post on LinkedIn? And then during the pandemic, we probably did more than 200 Zoom education and events as well. And now we've got the app. So we're very excited about it, and just excited about having Saginaw as part of the chamber. And when you look at that whole corridor of prosperity with A20, we just think there's just a lot more success and a lot more prosperity for everybody in that area. So we say, so even though right now it's the Northeast Tarrant Chamber, we're kind of referring ourselves to the net chamber, like a net over North Tarrant County, but we're also talking to our board of directors right now about just going to the North Tarrant Chamber. So we got a saying, we said plug in and get connected, and we appreciate that you guys have. Is there any questions?
Any questions for Jack?
I got a couple.
Sure.
How many Saginaw business have y'all had joined since you?
I think it's right at about 40.
40?
Yeah. So, but we had a few, but even before that, right? Because some people after the Saginaw Chamber folded kind of gravitated, toward us. But that was part of the reason why we wanted to have the big member event and get some people from Saginaw. We had the government relations person from BNSF was part of one of our teams, and then Dr. Chadwick was part of one of our teams. But we did it in the week with the bad weather hit, and so that Tuesday, a lot of people that were supposed to come in that Tuesday couldn't come in just because there were a lot of difficulties there. But yes, and we've been talking to Tarrant County College Northwest, even as well. So I see the momentum. I see, it's like a bell curve kind of, right? You got to kind of start it out, and then you keep achieving higher levels of success. So that's one of the reasons why we thought it'd be good to come and present today to talk about how we really see this continuing to grow and happen.
So the other one was back when we started this. There was talk of opening a chamber here, a satellite building. Has that been done, or is it still in the plans?
Well, we thought, so there was a chamber, and it was Lake Worth Chamber, called the Northwest Tarrant, right? And I went and helped them with their board planning sessions, right? I remember talking to them saying, why don't you all get together and form one big chamber out here, right? You got Saginaw, you got Northwest Tarrant, and then you had the Tri-Cities Chambers, which is down White Settlement, River Oaks, and that area, and they all failed, right? And so when we look at, I think if we can maybe combine some more cities, that we could look at maybe having a Northeast and a Northwest sort of wing of it, and maybe all operating under the North Tarrant Chamber or coalition of chambers. And so I think that's still to be determined. But if we kind of change the name and go with the North Tarrant, then I think that encompasses us pretty well. Because if you go back to that map, and everybody in your packet, there's kind of a bigger map of the area. I mean, that this area fits so nicely together along 820 that I think if we stayed with the 5 partner cities, we probably would stay with the North Tarrant Chamber, you know. But if it turns out we're going to keep expanding maybe along 820 there, then we would look at that. So we're in the process right now of hiring just one person to kind of be out here. She lives in between Saginaw and Lake Worth, and so to kind of represent us out here in this area.
Okay.
So we're working toward that.
Other questions for Jack?
And then it's just in your packet, you know, there's our team there, and if you want to see what our mission, vision, values are, that's page 2. And then these are 17 significant recent achievements over the last year that the Chamber has done that we're very proud of. And then all our events, and you can still go to our website, anytarrant.org, or go to the app and see what events are happening there. And so we'd love for any of you to come check it out. So but like I said, on the 1st and 3rd Friday from 11:30 to 1 is our Synergy Saginaw, and it's the Blue Mound Cafe. So they've got that little private room in there, and we use it there. So you are all welcome to join us there. And then for those of you that have businesses, this QR code on the back of the brochure will take you to the North Tarrant Marketplace. And then if you're interested in joining, there's a little join QR code here. So we would love to have any other businesses join our chamber, and we look forward to a really continued great relationship with all of you. And I'm going to be speaking at the Saginaw Business Forum, right? That's coming up, so come out and see it, and you guys generously spring for breakfast there. So
February 22nd.
February 22nd. If there's no more questions, though, thank you again for your time today. Appreciate the opportunity to come and talk about the Chamber. We've got a great group of folks, and everybody has been so embracing of having Saginaw come in, the partner cities, and Mayor Flippo, you're friends with the other mayors, and they were like, yeah, let's go, because they understand that corridor is a very important corridor, and they can see even more collaboration and prosperity and success coming from the relationship.
Thank you,
All right.
Jack.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marcia. Thanks for coming out. Appreciate y'all. Look forward to continuing partnership with y'all. All right, moving forward, item 3C, presentation of annual comprehensive financial report for fiscal year ended September 30th. Weaver and Tidwell. Justine Singletary.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. My name is Justine Singletary. I am the manager on the audit. So today I will be presenting to you the audit for the fiscal year ended September 30th, 2023. So you have this lovely report in front of you. Just a little background on our audit process. This is kind of a 3-part process. We actually start our process in July before the fiscal year has even ended. So we're here at the city for about a week, just kind of doing planning procedures, doing our risk assessment, and reviewing all the city's internal control processes. This is kind of like the checks and balances of the city. So we're reviewing over kind of the city's major transaction cycles. That would be like cash disbursements, payroll disbursements. And we're, from those cycles, we're taking a sample of selections from these cycles and making sure that the internal controls are operating as designed. So for example, for cash disbursements, we would, for a transaction, kind of follow that from start to finish. For the contract, if it required bids, did it get the bids that it was required? If the city council needed to approve that contract, did it get those approvals? And then when the invoice is coming in, did that invoice get approved before the check was paid? So things like that. So if we were to, in that process, identify a breakdown of internal controls, we would be required to bring that to your attention. We did not find any breakdowns of internal controls during our testing. So after that, we move on to final field work, which this starts in November, and this is where majority of our work takes place after the fiscal year has ended. So we're on site looking through all the numbers that make up the report that you have in front of you today. So our goal in this, in our testing, is to be able to eventually issue an opinion on the financial statements. And you'll find that at page 3, which is really more like page 15-ish in there. This is the independent auditor's report. And at the top there, you'll see the opinions. And this is going to say that we have issued an unmodified opinion. That's a clean opinion. That's what you want to see there. This is the highest level of assurance that we can put on the financial statements. You'll also see in there an emphasis of matter. This is just bringing to your attention that there was a new accounting standard implemented this year. And this is GASB 96, and this is related to subscription-based information technology arrangements. This is just if the city has entered into any software subscriptions, there's a change in the accounting this year that is required if it meets certain criteria to be recorded as an asset and a liability in the financials. So you'll see that if you're flipping through the financials, that's new this year, whereas in previous years, that would have just been recorded as an expense. That's really similar to the lease standard that was implemented last year. Another new thing this year, if you will flip to page 141, this is the federal awards section. And this is for the single audit. The single audit is required when the city expends more than $750,000 in federal awards during a single fiscal year. And you'll see at page 151, this is the actual schedule of expenditures of federal awards, and you'll see the city expended just over $1 million in federal awards this year. Most of that was for the coronavirus state and local fiscal recovery funds, also known as ARPA. So there was over $750,000 in that award alone, so we were required to do a single audit over that award, which that just means we go through and we look to make sure that the city is complying with federal rules over that program and also controls over compliance with that program. So we're making sure that costs that we're using that grant fund, those were allowable per like federal guidelines, and that any reports that were required to be submitted were submitted and things like that. Then if you'll flip back to page 148, you will see this is kind of the report card for our audit. So you'll see at the top related to the financial statements, we had no findings, no material weaknesses, significant deficiencies over internal controls. And then over our major programs, this is related to the federal grant. We had no material weaknesses, no significant deficiencies, and an unmodified opinion was issued. You'll also see that at the very bottom there, it says the auditee did not qualify as a low-risk auditee. This just means that there was not a single audit performed in the previous 2 years, just based on the dollar amount of federal expenses during those 2 years. So no fault to the city there. The last time that a single audit was done was for fiscal year 2020, and this was related to the coronavirus relief fund. So there just wasn't very much federal grant dollars spent in the previous 2 years. So that is all I had. I wanted to thank Kim and the rest of the city staff for all of their hard work. Takes a lot of teamwork, a lot of hours to get this audit done and this report put together. So we appreciate having the opportunity to work with them for another year. I'll open up to any questions y'all may have.
Yeah, council questions? Mary, go ahead.
It's not really a question, but I just wanted to commend our financial department and what a good job Kim and her staff do. And I was wondering, is this available to citizens, this report?
Yes, this will be posted on the city's website.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, thank you. That's all I needed.
Other questions, council?
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, go ahead. I was going to say, man, this is 150-some pages just dropped on here. I haven't had, chances of me being even able to get 3 pages of while you're going over its thing. So, in Cliff Notes, I mean, did an audit, I'm used to having audits done where you have minor, observations, minor findings, major findings.
Mm-hmm.
Where do I find that in here?
So if we had any major findings like you're discussing, that would be at page 148, this kind of report card, and that you'll see.
Hold on,
it says,
148?
Yes.
Okay.
This would be where any major findings that you're talking about would be included. You'll see it says no's down that column, so we had no major findings. If there's anything minor, we would have brought that to just management's attention.
Any observations?
No.
So we're perfect?
Close to it.
He's not going to say perfect.
Cool.
We certainly strive for perfection, but we're human.
Good. Just appreciate it. That's what I was really wanting to get at.
Kim's very good at this.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I know. I just need to ask.
I got you, I understand.
I have a couple questions.
Sure.
You have another one? Go ahead, please.
I thought of something else. There's a lot of just text in here talking about Saginaw and all of the improvements that have been taking place. And I just wanted to call it to the attention of the audience that, you know, we're doing wonderful things in Saginaw and we're showing continuous improvement. And if you read the text in here, it will become obvious. So thank you.
So I had a couple things. On the introductory section, page 4, our preamble, page 4 at the very top, long-term financial plan. And it mentions the emergency reserve fund. I'll let you get there.
Yes.
The emergency reserve fund balance in general fund is 25% of the operating budget. Where do we show that we are in compliance with that policy?
Yes, so that would be, flip to page 24. So page 24 has the fund balances for all the major funds of the city. You'll see the general fund is the leftmost column here. You'll see at the bottom is the different categories of fund balance, and that assigned fund balance of $669,000. That is what's making up your emergency reserve fund. So that is determined based on the next year's operating budget. You'll see there's also 13 million in there that's unassigned. That's kind of open to be used for whatever.
I had a couple more. Briefly. These are very minor things I just wanted to, page 13.
24, sorry.
Okay, 20, page 13, capital assets, very top. We have a lot of capital assets, which is a good thing, but I have a question. So on capital assets, it lists land maintenance, land improvement, infrastructure. I want to understand what infrastructure is. I think it's roads, sidewalks, and water and sewer. Is that correct? Is there anything else in infrastructure? How do we define infrastructure?
It would also include drainage infrastructure.
Okay. Everything underground, and then streets and sidewalks? Okay. That's a big number. That's $189 million. I'll make sure I understood that. Cool. I had a couple more very minor.
Let me also include there, so it's all infrastructure, the city built as well as developer built that the city takes on.
Right, because we own it. They build it, we own
Correct.
it.
And that's why we see a big number this year, because we had the streets, water, sewer, drainage accepted this year for Belt Mill and the square. So that's why you see that big increase this year.
But I saw that we added quite a bit this year, and that was another good thing. Page 44, at the very top, again. And sorry, I'm flipping around a little bit. I just had some thoughts. So page 44 at the top, deposits and investments. I think this is what we meet about every year. These are our investments, tax pool, et cetera.
Correct. The deposits, the 2.1 million is what we had in Frost on September 30th between our consolidated cash account and our credit card clearing accounts. And then the investments are tax pool. The almost $90 million is invested in tax pool.
Oh, yeah, 48, long-term debt. A favorite subject of folks.
What'd you say, long-term debt?
Long-term debt, page 48. Note number 6. The very bottom talks about our total bonds payable, 88 million. Then I'm looking through the list, and I was looking for bonds that drop off this year, such as one drops off in 24, another drops off in 25. Obligations that drop off, sorry. And those are governmental. And everybody understands what the difference between governmental and business type is, but maybe you can refresh our memory.
Yeah, so that's just kind of stating what funds that the debt is recorded in. So your governmental is going to be recorded in your governmental funds. So that would be pages. Let's see here. You'll find that debt on page 19. It'll show up as governmental activities. And then that business type is going to show up under the business type activity. So this is a debt that's issued primarily for like water and sewer.
Enterprise fund.
Yes.
Enterprise fund is our only business type.
Correct.
Oh, page 56. This is something we never talk about, so I wanted to talk about. This is our pension, net pension liability, page 56. And I'm looking at you and asking questions, but I'm probably really asking Kim, but she knows that. So we never talk about our pension. I want to make sure that we're well-funded. I think we are, but how do we know that we're well-funded in our pension? How do we know that we're taking care of our retiree or retiring folks, because we have a lot of folks on staff that can retire very soon.
So we get a report every year, and it's included in, I can't tell you what schedule right now, but I actually did that calculation in preparation for that question. So we're 74% funded, which is based, and it fluctuates from year to year because there's a lot of moving parts, right? It's the amount that we contribute in any given year is based on a bunch of actuarial studies that TMRS does for us. We always contribute 100% of what is required. So it's not, the 74% is not because the city hasn't contributed the full amount that we're supposed to contribute. It's just based on actuarial tables, mortuary tables, all of those things. So it's going to fluctuate based on that. Also depending on when people retire, which plan they decide on at retirement. So it's never going to, well, it could be 100%, but it's very unlikely that it would ever be 100%.
And my question raises, A, we never talked about this, and B, we know we have 30-plus folks that can retire tomorrow, right? And what happens if a majority of those folks do retire? I'm going to assume, and I want you to say that we are still, our pension would still be solvent, which will be able to meet our obligations.
Correct.
Okay. That's good news, and that's good news for all the employees that are listening as well. So I want them to understand that, yes, we fully fund our pension. You'll see things in the news about cities that do not. We do, the way we're set up, so I wanted to point that out because we just never discussed that. So. I think I had one more. Hold on. Oh, that's the same thing. That may be it. Yeah, that was it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Very
you.
much. Thank you all. Thank you, Kim. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you,
Can
Justine.
I just make one more comment to Mr. Lawson's point? And I know that not everybody is going to read every word of this, but a good summary is the management discussion and analysis, which are pages 7 through 14. So that'll give you a overall high level of the complete report. And you know where I'm at every day. So if you've got more detailed questions, I'm happy to sit with anybody and we'll discuss it.
That was page 7 through 14, I think.
Yes, sir.
Okay, excellent. I also want folks to know, citizens to know as well, this is available for any citizen to review. It is a lot of accounting stuff, but we try to be transparent with all our dollars. We want to show that we are being good stewards of taxpayers' money. That's absolutely why we do this. That's why we have an independent agency. Weaver and Tidwell is not associated with the city of Saginaw. They're an independent accounting firm. They literally put their license on the line by saying, yes, that we are in a good state. So that, and of course the awards we win every year for good accounting principles. So when people know, this is how you know that we are spending your tax dollars wisely, and as we say we are. So.
And in compliance with the many rules and regulations. We usually make sure that it's presented to the council, and we'll get the latest financial statement posted to the website tomorrow.
Kim always says it better than I do, so thank you. And again, you heard me ask her questions, and she was prepared for pretty much every question I asked, so I can't stump her after I. Thank you all. Thank you very much, folks. All right, let's move forward. Item 5A, consideration action regarding agreement between City of Saginaw and Community Link Mission, the operation and promotion of the farmers market at Saginaw Switchyard in 2024. Whitney, welcome. And we've got a whole crew from Community Link, so welcome, y'all. And we've got a VIP business owner as well up here with you, so I'm thrilled to see Bree.
All right, hi everybody. Hi Mayor, hi Council. I am Whitney Berry. I work for Community Link and I'm the Farmers Market Coordinator. So I really just want to touch on the 2023 season. We saw a lot of growth, a lot of really tremendous growth, and most of that was due to the implementation of new partnerships and new programs that we introduced. Our biggest new partnership was with the Texas Health Resources. It's the Blue Zones Division. They go by a lot of different names. There's the Blue Zones Division and North Texas Healthy Communities. So they sponsored our Double Up Bucks program. So as you know, or you might not know, we accept SNAP at our market. And that allows just those farm fresh produce, farm fresh ingredients, the eggs, everything that's at our market, meat, canned goods, anything that's food that's not hot, ready to eat is SNAP eligible. It's for the residents in Saginaw. Anyone that is a SNAP recipient, they can come and use those benefits at our market. The Double Ups program allows those benefits to go a little bit further, so they're able to double the dollars up to $30, and that extra dollars goes specifically to use for produce. So this not only helps and increases just that access to local produce, it also helps our farmers. It makes that dollars go a little bit further for the farmers. They get that money, and it kind of brings farmers to our market as well. With the Texas Health partnership, we also were able to reach a larger audience. So they helped us with a lot of advertisement that we wouldn't be able to do on our own. So we even had YouTube ads that were unskippable, so people had to watch them and learn about our market. We had billboards, a billboard out in White Settlement. They helped us with a lot of mailers. So people received like on their doors about the market, when the market was, the Double Ups program, a lot of just paper things that went out at Community Link 2 for our SNAP recipients. They're also going to help us for the next season. I'm working on some videos that will help really highlight farm fresh produce. So they'll happen in the spring, summer, and they'll just say, hey, what's at the market? Well, you can get these ingredients, you can get tomatoes, watermelon, here's what you can do with them. There'll be cooking demos that'll go out and really highlight the market and everything that we have going there. Another big program that we introduced was the buyback program. So this was really how I was able to get new farmers to come to the market. As you know, farmers are hard to come by in the area. They're also hard to secure at the market. They're smaller farmers, they're not big time. So if they do one market, that's where they're gonna stay. It's a big deal for them to venture out from Cowtown. That's where most of them are. It's hard for them to venture out, to get staff to come out, to get a truck, a vehicle to go somewhere else, a tent, all of the things that come with being a vendor. It's hard for them to do. So our buyback program allowed us to buy the extra vegetables, produce, whatever was left over at the end of the market, and take it to Community Link and deal out immediately on Monday to those that come and visit our pantry for services. We were able to get almost 3,000 pounds of produce. We got 2,800 pounds. That's roughly 2,340 meals if you do the math on that. And that did help us secure a couple new farmers. Of course, the farmers are seasonal. We get a lot of them in the spring. When it starts to go down a little bit in the winter, it's harder to get the farmers. But with this program, as we continue it into the next season, that'll help really secure that as well. And then our big highlights too, my favorite things, we had cooking demos this season. So we had 3 total cooking demos. Mind Your Garden came out. They are an urban farm, and they really talk about the benefits of plant-based eating. So they did 2 plant-based demos. That was my favorite thing that they did. And just talked about how to use plants, how to cook plant-based meals, what to do with all the local produce at our market. We also had one from Dixia. She's going to do the videos that are going to highlight the seasonal items as well. And she's a nutritionist, so she came out and did cooking demos. She did a lentil salad. So just really easy, simple ingredients. She cooked it right there. She even taught people about knife skills. The market guests that came by were like, oh, I don't know how to cut an onion. I've never cut an onion right. So she was able to right there, oh, here, let me show you how we cut an onion. This is how we do it. And that was really interactive for our market guests as well. We also had a Plant a Seed that the Saginaw 4-H came out and did. So they kind of hosted that event for our Power of Produce Kids program. They came out and had the kids do a little plant a seed. They took it home with them, and then they also were able to tell the kids about what the 4-H program does. One of our big highlights too is the Christmas market. That was a huge event, a huge turnout. We had almost 100 vendors total. I think the final count was like 97, 98. So it was a huge turnout. We fit them all in there somehow. I'm still not sure how that worked. But looking ahead for the next season, something I want to include is a night market. I know we've kind of talked about it, we've thrown it around, but that's something I really want to kind of get set in stone. We're hoping to maybe incorporate when we do the concerts at the park, to have a couple vendors there, a smaller style market, maybe 10, 15 vendors included in that for the night market, especially with the heat. It's hard in the summer or in the middle of the day. So that would help just bring a new audience to and get new people to come to our market. But really what our market is all about is supporting local vendors, local small business owners. We're there to uplift, to create a place for the community and help those small business owners. So I'll let Bree talk about the impact that the market and this space has allowed her business to continue to grow. So I'll let Bree talk.
Hi everyone, how are y'all this evening?
Welcome.
Thank you. My name is Bree Perona, and I am the owner of Bree Sweet Treats. And just a little backstory about myself. I grew up in the city of Saginaw. I've lived in the area since 2007. I went to Elkins Elementary, Creekview, and I graduated in 2016 from Chisholm Trail High School. And I went off to college, got a degree in baking and pastry and food service management in Denver, Colorado. And then in 2020, when the pandemic hit, I came back home and I told my parents, like, what am I gonna do? And my parents said, go back to what you know. And that was baking and making my cakes and cupcakes and things. And then I received an email from Community Link that we were going to be having a farmer's market. And they said, we love what you do and we want you to come out and be a vendor. And I have been a vendor with the Saginaw Farmer's Market since 2020. And my business has absolutely thrived. From having many people from the community come out who have not come to the market before, and they said, wow, we love that this is here. This is something new for the city of Saginaw. We never had a market before. And I'm able to reach a wider audience and see and meet people who I would not have been able to get the chance to meet based off of a Facebook post or word of mouth clientele. And my business has absolutely thrived. And I thank the city of Saginaw for having a farmer's market here, because I will not be where I am without the city. And I just appreciate Whitney and Community Link for what they do for all of us vendors. And on behalf of the vendors, I want to say thank you, and we look forward to our next season and hopefully our night markets. So thank y'all so much.
And Bree, I'm disappointed you didn't bring any food for us. So
I know.
When I saw you out there, I was really got excited.
I know. And I said I should have brought our new cookie, which is the Saginaw cookie. And I named it after the city of Saginaw because it's where I'm from. And just a little bit about it, it is our brown butter oat cookie. It has cashews, milk chocolate chips, and toffee. And I just looked at things about our area and I said, we're known for grain. So that's where the cookie comes from. So.
And you didn't introduce your hardworking mother who's in the audience as well. I always see her at the markets too.
I did not. This is my lovely mother, Rhonda Hayes, and she is also there with me at the farmer's market. So if you don't see me, you see her. You can call her Bree too. She'll answer to that as well. But thank y'all so much.
Thank you, Bree. Good to hear one of our success stories.
If anyone has any questions, I'm here to answer them.
Council questions for Whitney? Mary, go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to say I think that night market idea is really good. Do you know when you might actually make a decision about that?
I'm open to suggestions. Again, I kind of wanted to team it up with the concert at the park. I just think that will help with advertising. People are already there, and it just builds the event for everybody. And I think it'd be on a smaller scale, 10 to 15. So I'm open for dates. The summer is kind of what would work best, so we can team up with one of those concerts.
Thanks.
What questions?
Go ahead.
Cindy, you got something? Go ahead.
I want to make one comment. Bree, you're still one of my daughter's favorite students. You know, she can't say enough about you. And I'm still waiting on that Creole coconut cake.
And you know, I actually found a recipe that you sent me, and I told my mom that I just, this is out there.
So let me know.
Nick, you have a couple questions?
Yeah, a couple things. One is absolutely we need to make that night market happen sooner rather than later. Second is I'm very impressed with our farmers market, and I can say I have talked to some of the other vendors there, and just here about a month and a half, 2 months ago, I talked to one when he was out there, and always asked him, well, what does the city need to do? And these people were small people like you, that not a big business, and they were on the southeast Fort Worth border next to Mansfield, and they had been going to the Mansfield Farmers Market, and I guess for no better, you stole them from the Mansfield Farmers Market.
Probably.
That's what I like to hear. They bragged on how well we kept the garbage up, we cleaned things. A few times when they had a lot of things to take out of their car, somebody came and helped them carry their stuff out of the garden, out of their car, things like that. And, when I asked them, well, what could we do better? What would you like to see that could, they couldn't come up with one single thing. And that's, I think that's a testament. So I just wanted to pass that along. I haven't actually, for the farmer's market itself, I haven't seen or heard one person say anything really, really bad about it, other than some of the vendors who complain because they're not allowed to do trinkets. And of course, we know that the strength in the farmer's market is to make sure that we don't become a trinket seller, to make sure that we're doing, selling handmade food, things like that, fresh vegetables. I see that there's a gentleman selling fresh eggs there now. I don't know the company that's doing the steaks, but the steaks there that they sell is phenomenal. So as you can see, I hit the farmer's market a lot.
We love it. Love to hear.
So I just want to say a very good job.
Good, yes. We're glad to see it grow every time and get new vendors out there and steal them from other markets. I always love to see that.
I'm very impressed. I'm glad to hear how you're buying back some of the fresh vegetables. It's being utilized over in Community Link to give to more unfortunate families.
Yeah.
And that really helps the small seasonal to get us more fresh vegetables and stuff in there, because I know for y'all that's a struggle.
It's the hardest thing. It's the hardest thing just in this area. I mean,
Yeah.
we're not alone in a market trying to do
Right.
it. It's everywhere that's hard to get those farmers. It's also a really tight-knit community, too, of those farmers that I've kind of started to get into and know. And so once they hear about our buyback program, too, they come out. It just gives them security, like, hey, I can try this market, and I know I'm not going to lose all the stuff that I worked really hard to grow.
Right.
It's going to go to feed someone. They like seeing and knowing that
Yeah.
it goes to feed someone. That's one of my smaller kind of gardeners. He loves to see pictures of it going out, to see his food. It's being used. That's why he grows, is to feed people. To see it really happen and come to fruition is a big deal.
I have a question. I'd like to know why y'all are going up $10,000 a year, because y'all serve several zip codes, and I don't know how many zip codes give back to you. I never did get a positive answer on that. And I do know that y'all have gotten 2 big city grants from the city. And so when you figure up $39,672 a year for 14 weekends, it comes out to be $2,833.71 a weekend. And so I'm trying to figure out, plus you get the proceeds from the vendors. Then if we pay it by the month, the 12 months, it's $3,306 a month. I'm just curious as to why it's going up so much, because you're not doing anything different. And so that $10,000 is a big thing. And you got to stop and think, the citizens paid for the switch yard.
So the citizens don't actually pay for the markets, though, because it comes from your hotel tax, which y'all are.
That's not what I'm saying. I just want to know why it's going up.
Sure,
so much.
I do the budget, that's why I stuffed up. Trey Harper, a citizen and executive director now of Community Link. We raised the prices to adjust for admin costs. Takes a lot. Whitney is doing a lot of relationship building throughout the week with farmers. She's part of the local, sorry, I always call it the wrong.
County Food Policy Council, where I build the relationships with the farmers. That's where they all are. They're able to bring that.
With Tarrant Area Food Bank, with Texas Health Resources, to have one of the strongest farmers markets in our area. I would put it up against most any other community. So the costs are adjusted for that. We are offering the benefit of the night market. We also anticipate, we just had another part-time position funded for a market associate through another grant through Texas Health Resources to beef up social media presence and really draw attention to this area and to the benefit of the market. So the adjustment is really for admin. We haven't adjusted it since we started 4 years ago. So.
Well, and also, we're gonna have another pavilion this year as well, which will mean more vendors, right?
That's the goal.
Pavilion will be done, Mr.
Paid by the tax dollars.
Public Works. Okay, May 1st. So if we have a new pavilion, how many more vendors can we add?
I'll have to see right now in just the normal gravel spot that we have. I can fit 48, 50 if I really push it. So we'll see the space for that and how that would work out.
Oh, and that's great news. We're looking forward to that. That's awesome, because that's the one complaint I get is there's not enough spots for folks. People are left out and would like to be a part of it. Yeah. All right, council, other questions? Oh, Cindy, go ahead.
I wanted to get this in earlier, but Nick's pretty quick. Have y'all still, and I brought this up before, have y'all put any more thought into the consideration of a first aid station and a rehab station, providing water, because it gets really, really hot in the summer. And like I said, on the windy days, I've seen the tents flying and poles hitting people. No serious injuries, but, you know, I really think that's going to be important, especially as this market continues to grow.
And I think you're right, and I think it's a way to maybe look at partnering with CERT or some other community members to help with that too.
And CERT did come out for one of the markets and provided information and stuff too, so it was good
Yeah.
to have them out there and I talked to them and.
But that's one, but
Right.
you've got a
Right.
lot of markets
Well,
out
that's a
there,
good
and
point.
accidents can happen anytime, and, you know, safety of our citizens and our guests is very important to me.
Absolutely.
And I really would like to see, you know, Community Link provide that service. I mean, you've already got your tent set up. I mean, it just,
Yeah.
So like a permanent first aid type tent or
yes,
booth?
with
What-
water and, you know, what, possibly Gatorade or something if somebody needs it. I don't know. We probably have to talk with Jen Nieder and see maybe if there's something that she could do to help out, since she's the emergency management coordinator.
Yeah.
But I would
Yeah,
really.
thanks for the reminder too. That's-
Yeah, and I appreciate it.
Sure.
But this is something that we've asked for several, you know.
Right. And we talk about it and we forget, or we'll do iterations of it and, you know, so thanks for the reminder.
Okay, thank you.
Could that be something that our CERT committee has if they were up there? I don't know.
I can't, that's the answer for the chief.
What was the question? CERT, our CERT committee, is that something the CERT committee could do? Or that somebody on the CERT team, or
I think that's what they were kind of alluding to, get with the emergency management coordinator, kind of coordinates their efforts and see if that's something they're interested in doing and have the capacity to do. I think that would be a good use.
Excellent.
If you have nothing else, we might be able to provide first aid kits or something, possibly.
I'm sure we'd be glad to work with Jen and figure something out. Thank you. Any other questions, council?
I just got a comment. It goes beyond, like Nick said, talking to people at the farmer's market. I've been in line at the food trucks during the week, and people are just talking to other people. You got to come on Saturday. It's great. And I think it really brings the community together. So you guys are doing a great job.
Yeah, the food trucks and the market together really work well together, so kudos to the city and Community Link on that.
But I really would like to know if any of those other zip codes fund you, help you
In what capacity?
with all the, whatever, to donate money or to help you like the city of Saginaw does.
Well, we have a contract with the city of Lake Worth. We're looking at another city for another market. And then, you know, I mean, our funds are diversified. And public through our 990 tax return on our website, so.
Any other questions, council? Thank you, folks. Thank you, Whitney. Thank you, Trey. I will entertain a motion, council.
Mayor, I make a motion that we approve the agreement between the City of Saginaw and Community Link Mission for the operation and promotion of the farmers market at Saginaw Switchyard for 2024.
Do I have a second? All second? Please cast your vote. Motion passes 5-1. Thank you, folks. Thank you, guys. Look forward to it. Item number, we are on 5B, consideration action regarding resolution 2024-3, adopting the 2024 work plan. City Manager Gabe Reagan.
Mayor and council, this is the third time we've discussed what's before you. Hopefully, we will have our work plan list adopted this evening. For those in the audience or maybe watching, the work plan establishes the priorities for the city council in the coming year. So I won't repeat the list that we've discussed previously, but I will mention, since the last time we met, a few of the projects we've had some movement, some action. Someone had emailed the mayor, and the mayor told me this about a new animal shelter. The mayor recommended that potentially we have a citizen committee review the shelter, recommend the right size and amount. I think that that's an approach that has been used in the past with our bond program that we're kind of more than halfway through now. So that's something for the city council to consider in the near term. Our Public Works Customer Service Center renovation, the old library next door, there's been some preliminary meetings with staff to begin the pre-work, testing for asbestos, I believe, mold and water damage, that sort of thing, in preparation for a design contract coming to the city council for a renovation. As well as, we had a meeting about the grain elevator lighting, so.
Can we get the list on the screen? No, there's not on the screen.
Okay.
You want mine?
I think it's a PDF attachment.
Yeah, I got you.
So Gabe, on the animal shelter, I mean, we had the company came in and met and they did all that. It was going back, I'm getting a little old now, but really the biggest hurdle or the unknown that was there was land. We don't have any land that will support that. So what would the committee, I mean, we've already got a, from an outside company, a preliminary plan of what we feel is the right size when we decide to execute to it, right? We just got.
I may defer to Lee, but there was a range. We know within the range, 2 to 5 acres, rather large.
Right.
We've,
yeah, 6 was in my head, but could be.
Yeah, so I guess we've had some real preliminary discussions with the property owner along Jarvis that makes sense, adjacent to city-owned property. So I think, I think it would make sense for a committee to review the information, to figure out what the right size is or what they're comfortable with, because ultimately, when that's recommended to the council, this would be a bond proposition that comes with a tax rate impact. So, I don't know the right number within the range we were given that would be tolerable to our residents who would vote on a bond.
Okay, so this committee that would be set up would take
Yeah,
the recommendations from the independent.
Right.
And they would.
And figure out, I think it certainly helps, and it's the right approach in any bond program, to have more community involvement on the front end, because if you don't, on the back end, there'll be questions asked.
And I envision the citizen committee working with our staff, the staff at the animal shelter, plus our animal committee.
Yep.
Citizen committee, this is, we'll work with them and the information we already have to get input from folks, because I've gotten a lot of emails and also just comments about the animal shelter. People are very passionate about it, and so I want to make sure we get those concerns addressed from our citizens. As you mentioned, we'll take this to voters. They will need to ultimately make that decision, and I think the more folks we can get involved, the better it will be.
Yeah. I think if you remember back to 2019, I guess, when the prep work before the bond program, the city council said, okay, here's the priority, and we want a prioritized list of $100 million worth of projects. Now, ultimately, the council chose not to bring $100 million to voters. It was approximately 70. I think that similar approach would be helpful. And if you have a group that, like the mayor said, is passionate and said, and I'm just throwing a number out, 25 million or whatever, that's way too large, we need to know. So, and I think residents
But
should
we
weigh
spent a lot of money to have this professional firm go out and say, looking at Saginaw, looking at the growth, this is the size facility
range,
you
yeah.
need. Now, grant you, I guess, I just want to make sure we're not now throwing that to the side and then going with passion.
No, I think that the assessment would be the starting place for the discussion of the committee.
That's what I want to make sure.
Because it's not subjective.
Right.
It's very, they reference the market,
That's right.
Yeah, it's a good starting place. Ultimately, the council will decide
Yeah.
what goes to voters, if, yeah. So the next project I'll mention, you have the list in front of you that staff has a meeting with a consultant later this week, or a couple, sorry, let me back up. The staffing prioritization. Our previous city council meeting, we discussed that. Each department talked about future needs. Request from the council was to have at a future date kind of anticipated kind of timeline. So if the fire department needs X amount of personnel which fiscal years that would happen. So I think we can put it together, excuse me, pretty reasonable. And that'll probably be an ongoing discussion here as we head into budget season and into the summer. The last three items are carryover items from 2023.
Yeah, I got a question about the park system upgrade real quick.
Yes, sir.
Is that using money from our bond packets? That's what that's for, right? Okay.
That's correct.
That's
And
right.
I was happy to hear, I think Randy told me today that our new restroom, after a wait, is now active in Highland Station. I don't know how a person reasonably and politely celebrates a new restroom, but encourage those to make use of it.
We
It's
can go
there.
christen it, yeah.
Yeah, we christen it. It's pretty, I'll say that. Animal Shelter Advisory Board is meeting, I think they have a special meeting this month to discuss shelter management and holding periods for animals. So a report or a recommendation will come to the council soon. The salary study, staff is meeting with the consultant the city council approved later this week to talk about their initial recommendations, which will come to the city council, maybe our next meeting, likely our next meeting. So we're making good progress on our projects soon to adopt, and we're close to finishing those that we've got on the carryover list. So happy to answer any questions.
Any additional questions for Gabe? No, Cindy, go ahead.
What is the Saginaw Academy?
Saginaw Academy was the recommendation for, the mayor had mentioned the youth council's meeting this Saturday. It's essentially the grown-up version of that. We would probably have an evening program on a weekday evening just to share the same type of information that we share with our high school students. And the mayor likes to tell the group, and he's correct, that, you know, after they go through MIAC, they're more informed than the average person in the city, which is really true. So don't really know. I don't know that we ask for applications or anything of that nature, but we certainly get the information out there and see who shows up.
And one of the things that I would like to see included with this work plan is a bit of a description of what each of these projects are, an anticipated start and completion date, and a ballpark cost
Yeah,
to
I think.
this. I think that would,
Yeah, we've talked about, as we do, because all of these items really have action points by the city council going forward, but when we present to note that they're work plan projects, make it clear that there's a cost or will be a cost, and then include the summaries which we have in the past as part of your monthly report.
but it would be nice to see that all together in one place, because it would really kind of help us decide, you know, with the total as we work on our budget.
Sure.
If this is something that we may need to put off to another year, you know, for
Sure. No,
obvious reasons or something like that, so.
I agree, yeah.
My concern about that, some of this stuff, we don't know the cost yet.
I
Until we get
understand.
into it.
That's why I
We
said,
can
as
estimate.
available,
Yeah.
you know, provide an approximate cost. And
Sure.
and we know they can change, and we also know schedules can slip and slide for whatever reason.
No, that's fair. Yeah.
This is just a basic roadmap.
Starting point kind of thing.
So we have a plan to go forward instead of a list.
Council, other questions? Oh, Paul, go ahead.
Yeah, I'd like to see if we could get a monthly update, and we get the weekly reports, maybe once a month, on each work plan item, so that, you know, it seems like we get an update in 6 or 7 months, and I'd like to see it every month.
Yeah, easy to do. Some of these projects, and I've mentioned this before, they don't necessarily move, and we have engineers in the audience, in linear fashion, so it may be somewhat boring. You know, you may have no movement, and then you have a whole lot of activity, but happy to do that.
Yeah, I mean, that's understandable. I mean, not everything moves linear.
Sure.
But, you know, as, there's a lot of things on here, so to me, I would even like to say, I absolutely 100% agree with a monthly support, but I would also like to see you bring it back quarterly and give us a presentation
Yeah.
like you are now as to kind of how everything's going. So that's you know, that's 4 independent ones throughout the year.
Sure.
You know, and some of this may not get done this year, like it was Carol from last year, but it'd be nice to you know,
know. No,
to
I
see
agree.
and see how we're doing.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Council, other questions? All right, well, thank you, Gabe. I will entertain a motion on resolution 2024-3.
Mayor, I make a motion that we approve the work plan with the monthly and the quarterly upgrades.
Have a second? Nikki, second? Please cast your vote. Motion passes. Thanks, guys. Look forward to it. 5C, consideration action regarding firefighter position. Fire Chief Doug Spear.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Council. I am proud to report that we filled our last remaining vacancy in the FD. What's before you tonight is a request to add an additional firefighter position. This is a request that's been recurring for multiple years through the budget process. If you'll remember a few council meetings ago, we had a pretty detailed and robust discussion on potentially coming back and adding this position sometime during this year, should we find a quality applicant to fulfill that role. We fortunately have found that person and kind of have them sitting on go, depending on the decision tonight. I believe from that meeting, we had pretty strong consensus that if we brought this back with that consideration or finding that person, we would really look at improving that position. So that's what's before you tonight. Just as a reminder, this creates equal staffing across all 3 of our operational shifts. Currently, we have 9, 9, and 8, so one shift is short, one particular person. This would make all 3 of those shifts equal. I provided a little more information in that background document that's in your packet. With that, I'll answer any questions.
Council questions? Oh, Nick, go ahead.
And this will make us compliant with the national standard of what, right?
No.
That's probably a more detailed conversation, the national standard, or I think some conversations you had previously with our fire staff, or try to get 4-person staffing on each apparatus.
Right.
This is a step closer to achieving that on some days, but when we have people off, we don't do that. To meet that goal, that's going to require more people, and what you saw in our last staffing projection slides from the last meeting, that would get us to that. And it's not really a mandate. It's more of a goal, a standard to achieve to.
Taking a bite out of the apple.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Any questions, Council? So tell us the status on the 2. You've got 2 offers out. You hired, or when they start, how does that work for these 2 you've got?
So we've done interviews and background checks. They would have to go for their physical screening, toxicity screening and all that, but we have the individuals selected. So theoretically, if I extend an offer tomorrow, we could have them on duty as soon as 2 to 3 weeks.
Really? Okay.
Good.
Council, other questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Mayor, I make a motion that we approve the action regarding the firefighter position for the fire department.
Okay, Valerie, do I have a second? Cindy, second?
Mining, there it is.
Motion passes. Go get him, Chief.
Thank you for
Good luck.
the
Let's make it happen.
continued support. That's to council and the rest of the city staff.
We look forward to it. Executive session is fortunately not required, so I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mayor.
Cindy?
Motion. Second.
Paul? At 7:28, we're adjourned. Thank y'all. Appreciate it, folks.